Video game-based movies get kind of a bad rap. That's largely because most of them are bad. You can definitely take a look at the original Street Fighter to know why. They overloaded that movie with way too many characters and tried to give everybody an agenda. Then it just became farcical and just generally wretched. In the new film, Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, they focused on one character, a very iconic female. The story's revolving around her, and basically it's like Batman Begins in some ways, and she's searching for training, kind of looking for her missing father. She runs across a guy named Gen who teaches her some moves, but she's already kind of kicking butt beforehand, even though it seems that she had been about 10 years out of training. So she has some almost mystical powers. She learns that M. Bison from the games, kind of the lead foe, the lead nemesis of the games, he's behind her dad's disappearance. And Bison's backstory, well, it's a little strange. More on that later. Okay, what did the movie do good? Alright, well, it's better than the first film. And Robin Shao showing up, last time I saw him was Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which was just as bad as Street Fighter. So at least he's in a better movie this time. Some of the fights, there really isn't a lot of fighting, okay? There's mostly shooting guns at everybody, which is a little weird. How come you can't shoot people in Street Fighter? And if this is Street Fighter, how come there's not any street fighting? And don't give me this, I know it takes place before the games and before the tournament, but there's characters that die in this movie who are in the latter part, in a way, if you think that it's before the games. It's before the games if the games didn't exist. And that's a very strange thing they're setting up there. Bison's story, and it's pretty much what propels the plot here. And this is spoilers, by the way, if you really care. He's got a daughter who he somehow channeled all of his good side into, and he has her on a boat that he's acquiring. So he's searching for her, I guess. During the little flashback thing, it seems pretty clear that Bison has possession of his daughter, and therefore what is she doing away from him in the first place, and what exactly went on anyhow. If you go see the movie and you want to talk about it, let's share some thoughts here. I don't know how he channeled away his consciousness into her, or what relevance it has to kill her or keep her near, or why she was on that boat to begin with. It's a lot of nonsense. Acting, Kristen Crook as Chun-Li is okay, but I'm sure many of you, myself included, kind of envisioned Chun-Li as 100% Chinese. There's some weird stuff going on in this movie. There's parts that are like Star Wars, kind of like how Gen is the Obi-Wan Kenobi overlooking Chun-Li, wait until she's ready to train, I guess. And then there's a club scene that kind of turns into Basic Instinct just out of nowhere. Would I recommend the movie even to fans? No. I might say 2 stars overall out of 4, and that's kind of being a little generous. There's also one special effects shot that is, well, it looks a little bit like this right here. And really, what are we doing in 2009 with really lame explosions in movies? And I don't even know what they're thinking. Oh, and okay, another thing about acting, Klein, haven't really seen him in a while, and really good reason why is this movie. He is just awful, and every exchange between him and Moon Bloodgood, as these police are kind of tracking down Bison but not actually gathering any clues, they're just taking up way too much time in this movie and really of little consequence. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's over the top. The way police officer Maya dresses, she looks like some kind of street walking hooker, and she's supposed to be in the police office of all places, dressed the way she does. just not a good call. Michael Clark Duncan, I kind of like seeing him. He's Balrog. If you had to cast Balrog, who else would you go with? And for what it's worth, the characters are really not going to have a lot of development in this movie, and everything's rushed along, but Balrog punches a lot still, so they did touch on that. Yeah, when it comes to the fighting, you really can't tell if any of these people are doing the stuff that they're supposed to be doing. The cuts are very quick and a lot of close-ups. Had kind of a tough time telling what was going on. And, of course, you got to have some kind of fireball element in this. And the way that was presented in the film, not really sure if most people are going to buy into that, even though it is part of the video game. So you got to give it some leeway in a sense, as far as just suspending your disbelief and saying, look, in the video game there's fireballs. They got to give it to us somehow, right? And so it might as well be she has to learn how to do the fireball move and all that stuff. They had a little bit of low budget here, and it's not even highly marketed, so take that in consideration and avoid Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. Also, I want to say a few other things here. I saw a trailer that was way too serious for what it was showing. I think the movie was called The Battle for Terra, and it looked like a 15-year-old Pixar wannabe animated film about some humans trying to take over some alien planet because the aliens are weak there and they want the space, I suppose. It had all these lines from Star Wars, okay? Do any of these sound familiar to you? It is time. It's a trap. And it was taking itself way too serious. There was way too much bass in that trailer. That boom, sounds like that, and just all the lines were not fun, not aimed for children. And if you look at the art design in this movie, it is definitely for kids. So please, I'm going to make a prediction here. The TV commercials for this movie are going to be a lot different than that trailer, and it was cringeworthy, but you should check it out just to get an idea of how different things can be when they try to realize what their target market is. All right, well, I'll see you guys next time.